Good morning to everyone. This is the fourth video of additive manufacturing. Here we are going to discuss about the additive manufacturing process, that is sheet lamination and direct energy deposition technique. So first of all, when you come to the sheet lamination, this is one of the additive manufacturing process. Here we are going to get the 3D model by the help of sheet material. So the process is named as sheet lamination process. Here in this technique, we are going to use number of material in order to make a 3D object. So the material that are used are aluminum, copper, stainless steel, or it may be the titanium. So these are the sheet material that are used in order to get the 3D object. Here in this sheet lamination process, we are going to use a solid sheets. These solid sheets might be having a thickness of, it may having a thickness of 1 mm or 2 mm. So these sheet materials are made to stack each other with the help of adhesive, or the number of sheet can be joined by the process of welding. So this is how we are going to get a 3D model in this sheet lamination technique. Here, in order to get the 3D object, number of layers of sheet material are bonded together to get the required product. So you are observing the diagram of this sheet lamination process. Here you can observe the build platform on which we are going to place the sheet material one above the other till the end of the required thickness is obtained. And this build platform can be moved in two directions. And also you are observing that, so there is a material spool wherein the sheet material is continuously passed onto the build platform. And also here there is a some mechanism, cutting mechanism, in order to cut the sheet material according to the required shape. And also there is a laser unit which supplies the laser to weld the material. Here in this sheet lamination technique, there are two methods in which we are going to manufacture the 3D product. So the first one is laminated object manufacturing, and the second is ultrasonic additive manufacturing. Here, as I have said that we are going to use number of material like aluminum sheets, or it may be the copper sheets, or it may be with the stainless steel material to get the 3D object. And also here this technique is used for aesthetic purpose also. For example, if you want to bond number of layers of paper or a cardboards in order to build a 3D product, here we are going to use the adhesive material in between the number of layers. So if you are using the paper, or it may be the cardboard, in order to make a 3D model, then that process is called as laminated object manufacturing. Here in between the layers, adhesive is going to be used in order to bind the layers. So it is called as laminated object manufacturing. And if you're using ultrasonic additive manufacturing, in this method we are going to use the metal sheets. So you know that in order to join the two metal sheets or number of metal sheets, we cannot make use of adhesive. So here we are going to use the welding. That is, in order to join the two workpieces, in order to join the two sheet material, we are going to make use of welding operation. So the name ultrasonic additive manufacturing. Here in order to weld the two layers of material, we are going to use either the laser or electron beam to weld the layers. So you can observe the diagram of this particular sheet lamination technique. The process here is very simple. That is, first of all, the material is positioned on the cutting bed, and I have said that when the material or the sheet material is passing from the material spool, then the material or sheet material is going to be cut by the particular cutting mechanism according to the required shape, and that particular sheet material is going to be placed on the build platform. After placing the first layer, again the material spool is activated and the sheet material is going to be passed through the cutting mechanism, where the sheet material is going to cut, and the second layer of sheet is going to be placed on the first layer, and then with the help of a laser unit, we are going to weld these two layers of sheet material. This is how we are going to weld the two sheet material, and this procedure is continued till the final 3D model is prepared. So here it requires less energy in order to join the two sheet material. Hence this process is inexpensive. So this is how the 3D model is going to be prepared in the sheet lamination technique. So I have said that there is some cutting mechanism that is involved for cutting the sheet material. So here we can manufacture the product by cutting the sheet material, or else we can weld the sheet material initially and then we are going to cut the sheet material with the help of a laser or electron beam. And the next process is directed energy deposition technique. Here in this technique we are going to deposit the material onto the surface where welding or repairing the object is to be done. Here this technique is specially not used for fabrication of the component. This process is used to repair and maintain the structural parts. This technique is also called as metal deposition technique. Here in this technique we are going to use metal powder or wire in order to deposit the material on the structure which is to be repaired. The diagram shows the process, how the material is deposited onto the structure which is to be repaired. Here you can observe there is a build platform, and above the build platform we are going to keep the structure, so that has to be repaired. And at the top of this structure we are placing an electron beam, and the material supply unit is placed at some inclination. So this material supply unit has 5 motions, that is it can independently move in 5 axes in order to fill up the powder material or a metal in the form of wire to repair the structure. The working process involves the movement of nozzle, that is material supply unit, which is fixed around the particular object. This material supply unit has number of motions, and it is fixed on the multi-axis arm to facilitate the supply of powder material onto the structure. And when the material is to be deposited through the nozzle, this material supply unit is moved onto the surface to deposit the material. And when the material is deposited, the material might be in a powder form or it might be in a wire form. After depositing the material onto the structure where the repair has to be done, the powder material is then melted with the help of laser or electron beam. And you can observe that the electron beam is impinging on the deposited powder material or wire material. When the powder is melted, then it is going to be joining with the parent material, and further the material is added layer by layer till the complete repair is done. So here the main advantages of this directed energy deposition process is that it is used for repairing the structures, and also if the object is repaired by this process, then we are going to get the better properties, because here this process allows the directional solidification, wherein the properties of a material will be higher, so that the chances of failure and also the stress concentration will be minimum if you are repairing the structure with this process. And there are many disadvantages of this process, that is, it takes more time in order to repair the product, and also it is used for limited materials. That is, we are going to use this process when some materials has to be deposited. We are not going to use this for all materials. This is the disadvantages of this process. These are some of the process by which we are going to manufacture the 3D object. So there are number of process which are involved in additive manufacturing. So in order to make the 3D object, so the properties or the strength of these models might be different from each process. So we are not going to get the same properties and also the same strength by these process. So the strength may be different in different process, and the strength may be different in other process, depending upon our requirements and also depending upon the application where that particular 3D object is used. Depending upon that, we are going to use this process. And also we have discussed that, so the product that are manufactured by the additive process can be utilized in many sectors. Either it may be in the automobile sectors, or it may be in the medical sector, or it may be for manufacturing the tools, or it may be for manufacturing the aesthetic product, where it is complex to manufacture by the traditional process. So this additive manufacturing process is advanced technique of manufacturing the 3D product. So it is just like the 3D printing process. That is, here we are not wasting the material. Without removing the material, by adding the material in the form of layers, we are going to get the 3D product. And also recently we are using many of the manufacturing techniques. So in order to improve the production and also in order to minimize the waste material that is arised by manufacturing process, here we are going to use some of the manufacturing process, where by using this process we are going to get the better quality product, and also it is suitable according to the industries. Some of the examples of this are lean manufacturing, demand flow manufacturing, just in time manufacturing process, or agile manufacturing, or rapid manufacturing, and flexible manufacturing system, and advanced planning and scheduling manufacturing. So these are the types that you are going to use in a manufacturing, wherein if you want to reduce the losses, if you want to reduce the waste material that is arised by manufacturing process, and also in order to compete in the global manufacturing markets, here we are going to use a number of techniques so that we can meet the customer demands, and also according to the customer requirements we are going to manufacture the product. So nowadays the supply chain is very essential. So it mainly involves how the flow lines has to be maintained, and operated, and also we have to be more aware of the material that is being procured. That is, we are going to use the advanced planning techniques, when to purchase the material and what to manufacture, when to manufacture, depending upon the market conditions. So if you are following these some of the techniques, then only we can manufacture the better product within a less cost, and the companies can make a better profit. There is a profit for the companies, and also we can compete in the market.